Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Razovy, and today I'm going to talk about Samurai Champloo. Now, recently I actually posted a video about Jormungand, and I was talking about how I really liked it, but I didn't necessarily consider it as a classic, you know what I mean? Like, I mainly thought of that as a good anime, but that's about it. I prefer Black Lagoon over Jormungand, but in this case, I'm going to talk about one hell of a classic. This is probably an anime that, if you haven't watched it yet, no matter which anime you're watching, I guess you should drop it and really watch this one. It's that good. Because today, like I said, we're going to talk about Samurai Champloo, and this is crazy good. Frankly, if you haven't watched it yet, but you have been watching anime for years, you really missed the boat. Like this is worth it. Okay. Now, first of all, what is it about, and why should you watch it? Well, frankly, we start off the story with a girl named Fu. And she is working in a tea shop, I guess, in back in the olden days in Japan, right, in the samurai days. And she works in a tea house, and then all of a sudden there are these annoying guys. It's the son of, I believe, the mayor or something, or the governor of her town or of her prefecture or whatever. And that son is being an annoying customer, an annoying client, right? Before anything happens, we see that Mugen, which is of course the one of the main characters, he walks in and he already kind of sees that these guys are annoying, people are annoyed by them, and they want them to go, but they are not going. So he offers Fu a deal, right? He wants to make a deal with her. He says, if you give me, I believe he says like 50 dumplings or whatever, I'll make sure I'll get rid of these guys. But Fu says to Mugen, like, no, it's fine. Like, I think we'll manage, right? But then Fu trips with like a tea in her hand, right? Cups of tea on a plate in her hands, and she trips and she spills tea all over this son of I believe the governor or something. So this guy, of course, gets really mad, and so she looks at Mugen like, help me, right? But Mugen doesn't do anything. He doesn't care, because she didn't make a deal with him, right? So he doesn't care at all. Now, Fu is then taken by these guys. Like they grab her and they put her on a table, and they want to cut off her fingers, or at least one of them. But I believe eventually they want to cut off like all of them or whatever. Like it goes on and on, right? They really threaten her and stuff. And then before they cut off her finger, she yells out, I believe she says like 100 dumplings or something. She just yells that out. She doesn't even yell help or whatever. She just says 100 dumplings or something. And then Mugen is like, okay, let's go. And he basically beats up all of these guys in this tea house, right? He wins. But then all of a sudden, this the governor's son, right, before Mugen is able to do something, this governor's son says, do you know who I am? And then he explains, I'm the governor's son, right? And it's this guy, I believe. Yeah, this is the guy. He says, like, I'm the governor's son and whatnot, or the magistrate's son. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. And so he says that, and he says, like, his father has this band of samurais that are incredibly skilled, and that they will come after Mugen, right? He kind of says that. He threatens Mugen, even though he's really scared at this point. Like, this is the face he makes at that point. And Mugen is like, I don't care. And then before anything happens, this guy walks in, Jin. And Jin walks in, and at this point, Jin is like, he doesn't say anything. He just looks at the situation, and he says, oh, I can see you guys are busy. I'm gonna leave. And then Mugen says, oh, you're one of those guys, right, that this guy is talking about, right? You're one of those guys, one of those elite samurai. And Jin's like, no, I'm not. You got the wrong guy. But before, like, he can finish a sentence, Mugen is already, like, attacking Jin, and he of course he attacks back and that kind of stuff. And then eventually, I won't spoil it, like, I won't give you major spoilers, but eventually these two, because of all the ruckus they make, they're caught, right, by the police. And they're locked up. Okay, so they're locked up, and then Fu eventually, again, these are incredibly minor spoilers. This is basically episode 1, but if I don't tell you this, I can't really explain the story. So, I'm going to spoil episode 1 for you, but still, even so, episode 1 will still be enjoyable to you. I can promise you that. So Fu eventually manages to basically help them out. I actually posted a short and a TikTok video about this, about literally this scene where Fu it manages to break out Mugen and Jin right before they're executed. I'll link to my TikTok in the description, or maybe like in a pinned comment or something, so you can check out that video. Anyway, so she manages to help them escape, and then basically what she says is the following: okay, I helped you guys out, so now you guys are gonna help me out. I'm looking for a samurai that smells like that basically smells like sunflowers, which is a very weird thing to say. At the end of the whole anime, they actually explain why it's a weird thing to say that. Maybe someone already understands why, but they actually explain why that's weird. Anyway, so she says that they need to help her. And together, the three of them are now going to go on an adventure to find this sunflower samurai. And it's a very episodic anime. It's basically almost every single episode is a different story. With some exceptions here and there. But as you can imagine, because it's such an episodic story, there are tons of different characters. And I mean a ton. There are so many different characters. But it's actually not a bad thing in this case. Sometimes it's actually, at least in my opinion, it's actually kind of annoying to have so many different characters, right? Because you can't really form a bond with them because there's way too many. As you can see here too, there's so many of them. But in this case, Samurai Champloo actually it manages to really make sure that all of the characters, even though the episodes are like 24 minutes, all of the characters are fleshed out from the start. Like you immediately know, okay, this is this person. This is their backstory. This is why they're doing things. It's very clear from the start, without it being lame or something. Like the storytelling is incredibly good, even though it's episodic. And actually, this anime, and that's actually kind of interesting in my opinion, has been compared a lot to Cowboy Bebop, and that is kind of odd because Cowboy Bebop is in a completely different setting. It is not in the samurai times in Japan, right? It's in space, right? It's in the future with a completely different cast of characters that are, in my opinion, very, are not similar to these characters in Samurai Champloo whatsoever. Yet it is still being compared to Cowboy Bebop, which is also a compliment, might I add, because Cowboy Bebop is one of the best, if not the best anime ever created. So that it's one hell of a compliment. But in my opinion, the reason that people compare it to each other is because Cowboy Bebop is also very episodic, right? We have a main cast of characters, sure, but the anime in and of itself is incredibly episodic. And it's the same with Samurai Champloo. We always have the same three people who experience all types of different stuff. But in the end, I think that for Samurai Champloo, maybe, 4 or 5 episodes out of the 25 actually contribute to continuing the story. Everything else, like I believe 20 or 21 episodes are completely episodic. I don't mind that. I actually like that. But I can imagine some people don't like that. On the other hand, if you've watched Cowboy Bebop, most likely you enjoyed it a ton. And Cowboy Bebop is also, of course, incredibly episodic with, I believe, 2 or 3 episodes only contributing to the story. So if you like Cowboy Bebop, you are going to love Samurai Champloo as well. You really are. I can assure you that you will. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make this video too long. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to click on the like button and subscribe. Like I said, I'll leave my TikTok in the description or in the pinned comment or whatever, so they can take a look at that too. Because I've also posted scenes about Samurai Champloo on there. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.